What's up, Level Up family? How y'all doing today? Hope y'all doing good. This video today, I'm going to explain how to file your quarterly IFTA tax return. Now, before we get into this video, if you haven't already, please smash that like button. And for the people who are new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button and hit that notification bell so that you can be notified every time a new video is dropped. All right, let's get into this video. All right, now before I jump into how to file it, I'm going to let you guys know what IFTA is. IFTA, it stands for International Fuel Tax Agreement. So IFTA is a tax on how many gallons of diesel that we purchase in a certain state, and it also is calculated on the miles that we have driven through the state. Okay, so now that you got a little bit of background on it, let's get into the number side. All right, so here are my accurate numbers for my IFTA filing. How you would break this down, you will want to break it down to one column. You will put all of the states that you have driven through, and then the next column, it will be all of the miles that you have driven, and then the next one will be all of the gallons that you have purchased. Now, as y'all can see, Maryland is my highest number, and that's because that's where I live. So your miles is most likely going to be more in your home state, and your gallons is most likely going to be more in your home state. Now, you can see that I have the most gallons here in Maryland, because what I try to do is I try to fill up only in Maryland. I try to make sure before I pull off, I'm filling up. I make sure I have enough gas to get where I'm going and then get back. That will also reduce the amount that you will have to pay once you file in your IFTA taxes. So Maryland, I did 7,880.4 miles. In Virginia, I did 5,193.9 miles. North Carolina, I did 3,951 miles. South Carolina, I did 2,494 miles. Pennsylvania, I did 2,239 miles. And West Virginia, I did 271 miles. Now, I don't travel through West Virginia a lot. I probably just did a load there one time. So I purchased no fuel in there. That's why you see $0. Pennsylvania, once again, like I say, I try to fill up here in Maryland. So I make sure that before I take off, I have enough gas to get where I'm going so I can get back home. So I maybe filled up in Pennsylvania twice, 3 times maybe. Only did 207 gallons of diesel. South Carolina, it's around the same. Probably filled up just quite a few times. Only did 267 gallons. North Carolina, that's kind of like the middle point when I was traveling between Maryland and South Carolina. So North Carolina, that's kind of, like I said, that's like the middle point. So I could make it all the way down there on a full tank of gas, pick my load up, and then on the way back, I got to stop somewhere and get fuel. So that's why you see these small amounts of fuel from Virginia, North Carolina, and South Carolina. In North Carolina, I did 352 gallons. In Virginia, I did 152 gallons. Now, how you can obtain all of this information is from your ELD. I have Keep Trucking on my ELD. I'm going to make a separate video from this where this is just me explaining the IFTA tax and showing y'all the numbers. But the part 2 video, I'm going to actually do on the computer so I can show y'all the breakdown how I got these numbers and how you actually file your taxes online through the IFTA website. But you obtain these through your ELD. Like I said, I have Keep Trucking as my ELD. They will have IFTA summary. You click on the IFTA summary and they will have all the states that you've driven through, and they will have all the miles that you did. Now, if you insert the gallons of diesel that you bought on your ELD, then it will add up these numbers. But I don't enter that in there because I have a fuel card. So my fuel card automatically just tally ups everything for me and on the receipts, and I just keep the receipts, and I got an Excel spreadsheet. So once I purchase fuel, I use the receipt and I will type it in my Excel spreadsheet. And so when it's time for me to come and do my IFTA reporting, I can just go straight to it, and I can look at the receipts and like, okay, all right, this one was for Maryland, this one for North Carolina, this was Virginia, and it's all broken down. And I'll just put out a little scrap piece of paper, and I would just write all the gallons that I purchased from the receipts and add them all up, and I would get my total amount of gallons that I've done in each state from the receipts. This is something that owner operators have to do quarterly, every 3 months of the year. We have to file these IFTA taxes. If you have your own authority, you have to do this. 9 times out of 10, you're doing this every 3 months. Unless you have somebody that does it for you, then you don't have to worry about it. You'll probably just send them the information, and then they'll just do all the crunching of the numbers. But if you are owner operator, but you're leased under somebody else's authority, which means you're running under somebody else's numbers, 9 times out of 10, the person that you're leased under will do your IFTA for you, because you'll be running under their authority. So you would have to keep track of it, and you would have to just give it to them, and then they would do it. Unless y'all have some type of agreement that you have to do all of this yourself. Then you're going to be just like us owner operators who have their own authority, and every 3 months you're going to have to file. Another thing that I want to let you guys know is how you can obtain these gallons from your receipt, from your fuel receipts. Now, if you have a gas card, a company gas card that you're using, 9 times out of 10, once you swipe it at the pump, you're either going to have the receipt sent to you or somewhere in a file that you could just log online and you could check, and it's going to have the breakdown from your receipts, like the gallons, everything. But if you're not using a fuel card and you use your debit card or a regular credit card, any card that's not a fuel card, you have to go into the gas station and you have to prepay for it. So that means you could walk up in there, you could say you're on pump 15, yeah, let me get 500 of diesel on pump 15. Once you swipe your card, the receipt they give you, that's going to be a prepaid receipt. That's only going to say that you swiped for $500 of diesel. It's not going to have the breakdown of the gallons that you pumped or the price of how much each gallon was. You get that once you finish pumping the gas, and then you go back inside and get it. So don't forget that. If you're using a credit card or a debit card, anything that's not a regular fuel card, once you go inside and you prepay for it, that first receipt you get, that's not the receipt that you want to keep. You want to get the second receipt after you're done pumping. So once you're done pumping, you put the pump up, you want to walk back in there, and then you'll get your fuel receipt that has the breakdown of how many gallons you use and what's the cost of each gallon that was. Now, another thing I want to leave with you guys is if you're breaking down your numbers and you see that, say like if West Virginia, say I had no miles in West Virginia, but I pumped 271 gallons of fuel in West Virginia. That should bring up a red flag. You should not have no fuel purchased in the state that you haven't driven in. But it's okay to have miles in the state that you've driven through, but you have no gallons of fuel. That just means that you just drove through, or you just went there, dropped off, picked up or something, and you left out. You didn't purchase no fuel. But never at any time should you have any gallons of diesel purchased in a state that you never driven into. That should just raise a red flag, and that should make you want to go back and check all of your numbers and make sure that everything is correct. But that's it of this video. Like I said, it's going to be a part 2. This video was just me crunching the numbers and showing you exactly how to set up your chart before you prepare to do it online. Once again, if you haven't already, please hit that like button. For the new people to the channel, please hit the subscribe button and hit that notification bell so that you can be updated once a new video is dropped. If you have any questions or concerns, just leave them right down below in the comment section. And that's the end of this video. Don't forget to watch part 2. Part 2 after this video. So once y'all done this video, go watch part 2. Y'all take it easy. I'll see y'all at the next video.